Thank you for joining us for the concluding parts of the story. See you after this time out. Hello there. You're welcome. Your Excellency, thank you for coming to continue the story. Amazing story.
Thank you.
One would have expected that having been disqualified from something as low in the cadre of political appointment as councillorship, that you would have just thrown up your arms and said, that's not what God wants for me.
Actually, that was exactly the situation. My wife told me, please, anytime about politics.
She told me that she begged you.
She said, please, count me out. I'm not part of it again. And I said, well, no problem. You see, when that happened,
yes,
that particular night, I came back home. I slept. In the morning, about midnight, or early part of the morning, she woke me and said, what about human being are you? I said, what have I done? She said, the whole night I was sleeping and snoring. And she was crying because she knew all I went through, our car gone, the little resources we had gone, and look at me, myself.
Sleeping and snoring.
Snoring.
Who was the person who was in the thick of it?
What do you want me to do? I have prayed before. In fact, before I enter into any project, I pray. I say, God, please, this is it. If it is your will, let it go. If it is not your will, for any reason, I don't want God's permissive will in my life. I want always God's perfect will. Because He sees beyond. And then, because I had gotten my master's already,
yes,
I now collected my paper, my certificate. I went to the Enugu State University of Science and Technology. I said, please, I've finished my program, I've got my master's. Can you employ me to be a lecturer at the university, at the Faculty of Agriculture at Abakaliki? Come 2 days after and for your interview.
That was it.
That had been concluded. It was never done in the university before, that because of me, they now rescheduled an emergency faculty board to interview me. And when I got my appointment letter, less than 1 week, in fact, before that, real election took place. And I picked up the appointment.
And your wife must have been very happy.
Of course, she was very happy.
And she thought that the whole politics thing was settled.
So I was in the university. Something happened.
Yes.
Before the state was created, that was 1994, 2 years before the state was created, there was this young man by name Festus Sokosa.
I have met him.
You met him?
Yes, I've met him.
I was driving out of the campus of the university. A young man flagged me down. I looked at this young man. I've never met him before. He said, are you Dr. Sam Egwu? I said, yes. He said, there's a message from God for you. I said, me? Message from God? I thought that guy was really
mad.
A madman. But since he mentioned God, I said, okay, please, what's the message? He said, yes, God said I should come and inform you that you will be a governor of a state, Ebonyi State.
At that time, Ebonyi was not created.
You'll be a governor of a state called Ebonyi State. And that's the message from God for you. So I looked at my wife, we laughed. I said, okay, thank you. Because I never took him serious, I didn't ask for his name, I didn't ask him his background.
Yes.
I drove off laughing. Imagine somebody who tried to be council chairman.
They disqualified
They disqualified me because of my... So now they're telling me, in the first place, nobody was sure, but they said will be created. Now they're telling me I'm going to be a governor. Governor.
And the population in Ebonyi State.
Then within that, if you can therefore imagine, if in my own local government,
You couldn't be
I am a minority. Imagine at the larger. So when you put all this, then the money, I've not been able, because once that happened, I left politics. Even though that time it was going to be on a non-party basis, so I never belonged to a strong. I wasn't a party carrying member.
Yes.
In fact, and of course we were under the military then, so the issue of a political grouping had not, taken strongly, had not taken root in the state,
Yes.
or rather in the whole federation. So I won't be regarded as a politician.
Hold the thoughts. Hold the thoughts. I read a book once, and it described faith as seeing the invisible, expects the impossible, but receives the incredible. His Excellency didn't believe, but God had spoken. It was an impossibility. Well, did he receive the incredible? And the story continues. We'll come back to that. See you after this time out. Thank you for joining us, Your Excellency. So, you received the prophecy with utmost disbelief.
Yes, precisely.
And then what happened?
Then I told you we were coming out of the
Yes,
so
yes.
Immediately we arrived at the house of our Christian brother by name Matthew.
Yes.
Omo. I wanted to share that joke.
Yes.
I forgot to laugh about it. I said, Matthew, do you know what happened today? He said, what is that? I said, look, we were coming out from the house and somebody just said, God has asked him to inform me I was going to be a governor of a state. Not even created. I was expecting the guy to laugh with me. He said, no, sir, don't laugh. Oh. If it is from God, it will come to pass. So I was like taken aback.
Yes.
Well, I was expecting him to join
Share the joke.
Share the joke with me. And he said, no, don't laugh. If it is from God, it will come to pass. I was like taken aback. I said, well, and we forgot everything about it. Until that day, Abacha announced
Ebonyi State, it registered.
My wife, just when we saw, she was inside the room, I was in front, only the announcement. So we just like all coming.
She was running to you and you were running.
And we just said that Ebonyi State, so we all jubilated because Ebonyi people have been subjected to long period of suffering, oppression, segregation, and intimidation, and that we almost lost our sense of being human beings. Yes. So you could imagine the joy we had.
That even the second part of the prophecy did not strike you at that point.
No, that wasn't. It didn't even strike me. Just the main joy that we already liberated. And then along the line, we remember that
that the governorship is in the bargain.
When the first military administrator was posted, Captain Ferrabo.
Yes.
Some leaders of thought met him to receive him at the lodge where he was staying, temporary lodge where he was staying, and they made an offer. Said, look, Governor, I know a lot of people have must be coming to you, pressure, appointment, this, but should you want us to make some suggestions to you about those who will be in your cabinet, please, who will be ready to give you some names. So, but even before then, we started looking for that boy because now.
So you start looking for. So what next? How is it going to come to pass?
So we looked. Eventually, my wife located somebody
who knew him.
Because a prayer partner, and then we got to the sister. The sister happened to be a teacher in this secondary school, and through that sister, we got that boy. And then I said, please come. Now tell me again. He started laughing. I said, then how did it happen? He said he was praying for himself.
Yes.
That he wanted to serve God, to be a pastor. He's of the Anglican communion. He wanted to be a pastor and declared fasting and praying for himself so God would lead him. He was an apprentice in the market selling clothing material for somebody as an apprentice. He wanted to go into the ministry. So it was in the middle of the night, within that period of prayers, 30 days prayers, that God called his name. So he heard his name twice. Said, Festus, go to the university and ask of Dr. Sam Egwu, deliver this message. He said, what he heard, he said, that dream of vision, he didn't believe. He said, how can I go? They would think I'm a madman. I have not met this man before. So the following night, the same thing repeated. I said, until you have done that,
you will not rest.
You will not rest, and I will not give you your own vision. So that was when he took someone of courage. I started asking people, please, who is Doc? How does he look like? They then describe the car I use and all that. That was when he now came and then saw that car. And that's when he asked, are you Dr. Sam Egwu?
Yes.
He said, not only that before it happens, that I will be a commissioner that the military I will be appointed a commissioner before the military will hand over power to me.
Yes.
He also said that there's something that will happen again that will discourage people. But when it happens, I should not be discouraged.
Yes.
I said, that was the sequence again. So when one day, after the military administration came, one of the leaders of thought by name Egwu, the pharmacist, Tony Egwu, came to my house where I was living in the university. He didn't meet me, saw my wife. He said, please, where is your husband? He said, he went. I said, please tell him to see me this night unfailingly. So I was surprised that Egwu should be looking for me. He said, anytime I come back, I should see him that night. So I went back. When I came back, my wife delivered. I went to his house. He said, please, I learned to come looking for me. He said, yes, where's your CV? I said, I don't have my CV. He said, look at you. All the young men have been carrying their CV around, flying around. They don't have. I said, well, I have no need for it. He said, bring your CV the following morning unfailingly. That they made the administrator as leaders of thought of the state, of the newly created state, and made this suggestion, and man said they should give 4 names. And when they came out, among themselves, they decided I should be one of the person. So I should bring my CV. So that's in rank.
Commissioner. Prophecy.
Rank, as I came back, that same evening, my own council chairman came, said that the administrator called them and said they should give 4 names. And among themselves, they also choose me. The following morning, the traditional rulers made the administrator, and he gave them 4 chances, and among themselves, they chose me too. So from the 3 nominations he was seeking for, my name appeared in all of them. My wife, look, this is becoming true. State have been created. Look at
commissionership
is coming up. So I, of course, within that night, I went to my office.
Yes.
Prepared, dusted my the CVs I used in my promotions in the university, updated them, and the following morning I was in the man's house. I submitted it. Then, of course, that was the period of the military, so the administrators will have to clear with Abuja, security screening and all that. So I was really hopeful then that now this is becoming
a reality.
That my laughter has not turned to becoming something. But then there was a period of waiting.
Yes.
The list didn't come out. The approval didn't get to the administrator in time. So it stayed up to 6 months before appointing his commissioners.
And did you at that time begin to say maybe...
Since there wasn't any announcement, I felt that whenever it will come,
your name will be there. Because the Ebonyi State thing had come true.
But then something else happened. That same young man came to me one day. This is somebody who has no business with government, staying in the market. Says, Sam, in the dream he saw in the wall list of names, which your name was included, but he saw a hand, but not without seeing the owner of the hand, taking approval. He said that very soon the list will be announced. He said this like on a Tuesday. By Thursday, they announced the name of commissioners.
And your name was on that list.
My name was on that list.
Hold the thoughts. Hold the thoughts. Don't go away. When we come back, His Excellency will tell us how, when God finally remembered him, all the prayers, all the years of prayers, it just shows that it is not of him who wills, nor of him who runs. It's of God who shows mercy. Yes. We'll see you after this time out. The Bible says, who can speak and make it happen if the Lord has not decreed? When God speaks, it's just a matter of time. I'm glad you're still here. Your Excellency. So, the list came out.
Yeah.
Your name was
there.
You announced it.
And then in sharing portfolio, I was given the Education Ministry as a Commissioner for Education. And I said, what am I doing? What is my business of education? I read agriculture. I thought I would have been Commissioner for Agriculture. But then I didn't know God has a plan. Then the state of education in the state was terrible. Students were not going to school, the teachers were not teaching, everything was bad, and of course, people were roaming around the streets. So I saw a challenge.
Yes.
Well, to cut a long story short,
yes,
I made an impact as a Commissioner for Education.
You did.
And that touched families. Students started going to school, teachers started teaching, things set up, At least at my own level, I stopped unnecessary levies, all levies.
You remembered how it was when
I
you...
remembered my situation because I was in that situation. There was a day I was in the filling station, filling my car. A man was passing. I just said, look, he heard I'm the commissioner. I was the commissioner for the. I said, yes. He said, thank you, my son. I said, why? He said, he had 4 children. Only one was going to school because the other 3 could not continue because every week they were asked to pay 20 naira for handwork. And he couldn't afford that much every week. He was carrying his school. So, but the moment I came and stopped that school fee, that levy of
what
4
children went to school.
They went back to school. So that's it. Can you imagine because of 20 naira, his 3 children couldn't go to school? As a commissioner, I didn't have much, but for that, at least stopping that levy. I said students must be made to do their handwork, not just collecting 20 naira, put the teachers will share at the end of the week. Every other reforms I brought into the education sector endeared me the heart of the people that even as a commissioner, and when the ban on politics was lifted, even from the little kid on the street, they would say, that's the man who wants to be the governor. Forget about these politicians who are roaming around. One day, chairman of Traditional Rulers Council, named Sam Egwu, late Sam Egwu, came. He was the chairman of Ebonyi State Traditional Rulers Council.
Yes.
Came to me, the house. I was surprised that a chairman of Traditional Rulers Council said, Sam, come. Are you still working? I said, yes, sir. He said, you have to resign. I said, why, sir? He said, because the people want you. We have heard everywhere, but they're talking about you. You're going to resign and go enter politics and become the governor of this state. My mind just went to me because you now see this thing I have kept within myself and my wife. We never shared it with anybody. We just saw it manifesting, and now at the stage of being the commissioner, I was wondering how will the other one come be? And somebody coming to tell me, even though I've heard it from people, they make comments in the churches, in the streets, people will be coming, children, parents will be shaking my hand, say thank you for the good job you're doing, and then of course the teacher didn't like me. They called me A-raid because because in the mornings I would be in the school. They wouldn't be expecting me. I would be there to conduct assembly, and I will come there. See few students in the coming for the assembly. The rest will come late, and of course I block the gate. As I am collecting the latecomers of both the pupils, I'm also identifying the teachers who came late, and of course I will immediately portion punishments, both for the pupils, for the teachers, for the principals. It was like revolution.
A-raid.
They started calling me A-raid because they wouldn't know with the school I would come the next day. However, when the chairman of the Traditional Rulers Council made that statement, a lot of other things happened. It was like pressure everywhere. I had to resign, to register.
God was taking you somewhere.
God was taking me somewhere. But then, remember that within that period, under Abacha, we were already campaigning in the field when the man suddenly died.
Yes.
And when he died, he went back to square one. And I remember that prophecy.
That said something will happen to discourage people. Yes. Don't be discouraged.
And people started saying, yes, can you imagine a young man, a commissioner, his orders are still there, he resigned, he wants to be governor. Look at it now. Everything has come to an end. Look at all manner of, but for me and my wife, because we knew what is happening, we kept our cool, waited. And after about 1 year, when the ban was lifted again,
it started again.
That is how eventually I became the governor. I contested the election. People came to my assistance. Like I told you, you can imagine a lecturer who was just dependent on this. I didn't belong to a political party. My ethnic group of my local government, even within local government, a very small minority in a local government, talk about the state. So people never gave me a chance. People were just laughing. I said, you don't be a politician. He doesn't have the money. Look at his people. They are not even many. But in all this, even the finances, young people were coming to, people who never even had money on their own. 5 naira. What happened like Obama?
Yes, Obama.
People were giving donations. That was what I used to
sustain. Yes, I know.
You couldn't believe that. There was a particular boy, the mechanic that does my car, by name John Ebe, bought a 504 wagon for his workshop and donated it to me. Donated the wagon to me. I said, Sam, please use this for your election. After the election, I collect my car. In other words, the car he bought for himself, he gave to me. And people were giving me like that vehicles that if you saw my campaign trail, it was like a president moving because of people. And people were coming, donating money. Let me give you an example of
Yes.
what happened now. There was this boy, when I was in secondary school, I told you my story.
About the shirt story.
Yeah, the story.
Yes.
This man was also living in Abakaliki and worked with the military. The military had a kiosk and shop, was selling beer. And when I became the senior prefect in the secondary school, I needed to address a function where I needed to address the outgoing students at that particular year. And because of my level of financial status then, I will say, I had one shirt I was wearing every time. In the evening, I wash it.
Put in front of the fan.
Yeah, put in the fan. In the morning, I will use again to school. So I see me going to address a crowd as a senior prefect. I said to go to this, my brother in the town. I said, please, can you just lend me your shirt? The following day, I will bring it up to the occasion. Of course, he refused. So I had no alternative that I needed that shirt and then canvas.
Yes.
I mean, sandals. He refused. I went sorrowfully. I came back to the school, washed that same shirt, used it the following day for the address I delivered to the outgoing
Students.
final year students. And do you know that when I now became a governor, the same person came with the wife, pleading that I should find them job to do because they were already down.
Yes.
I gave him an appointment. I employed him. He became a steward in my house, in the governor's lodge. He stayed there in lodge.
Does he remember?
Well, whether he remembers or not,
not.
I have done, but at least I know. And so when he was coming, I said, could it be that this man has forgotten that he did this to me? But because I was in the position to assist and help him, I forgot that because it was God that put me in that position. You see, I have always said, especially for the young ones growing up, the Bible says that those who depend on what the eye can see are not wise. Circumstances around you can be very difficult. Just hook onto God.
Yes.
And once you hook onto God, God will take you to that destination. It's not by our own power, by might, it's by His grace. Not by that I'm better than any other person in a state, but because God has, designed it that way. There's nothing anybody could do. But anytime I see myself in any position, I use it to serve God because what is it after? It's service. It's service to do the will of God, help others, touch the lives of people. Consider that people are in terrible situations.
Yes.
I was in that position before. And that's why no matter what happens, I don't see myself, since I'm a governor, I mean, what is it in the governorship? I try to live within that level of people that are suffering, because that's the way I can appreciate and touch them and reach them. Have their feelings.
Excellency, thank you very much for coming. God is a God who redeems time. Every position God has blessed you with is for that which you do to glorify Him. Are you in position of authority? Has God given you a word and God has made you what He promised He'll make you? And you've gotten there and you feel that your hands got that for you. Well, God sits back and looking at you, knowing that when you work with God, He takes you one step, takes you the next step. And as you glorify Him for every step He takes you, He will do something amazing the next step. So that when you finally get to that position that He has ordained for you, you too will be able to beautify other people's lives. Thank you for sharing your time with us. See you again next week. Have a great week ahead of you. Goodbye.